Alright, check it out. So today I'm going to show you how to build a bicycle wheel. You need four things to build a bicycle wheel. You need a hub, a rim, some spokes and nipples of the proper length, and you need a little video from YouTube to show you how to do it. So that's what I'm going to do. I ordered my nipples from Dan's Competition. You can call them with the type of rim you're using, the type of hub you're using, and they can set you up with the right size nipples, or the right size spokes rather. I have two different size spokes because I have a front hub and a rear hub, and the rear hub, the hub diameter is much larger than the front hub. It's a lot smaller on the front hub. So I'm going to start lacing this wheel up, put some spokes in it, make a wheel. The first thing I like to do is go around every other hole and drop a spoke in so they're all hanging down this way. The next thing I'm going to be mindful of is where the logo is in relation to the hole for the valve stem. I like those to be facing towards each other. The other thing I want to be mindful of is these T-1000 rims do have a flamed pattern to them, and I want them to be spinning in the proper direction. So I've got my cog on this side, they'll be rotating this way, which is the opposite direction the flames are going, and that's going to look right when the bike is rolling. The next step is to go around the wheel, inserting a spoke in every other hole on this side of the rim. You want to make sure that it's every other hole on this side. Now what I'm doing is a 3-cross pattern. So the next step is to start inserting spokes in from this side and making sure that it crosses over each spoke 3 times and then goes into one of the holes on this side of the rim in between the spokes that I put on. I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. As promised, I'm showing you what I did. You drop a spoke in there, it crosses 1, 2, 3 times, giving you a 3-cross pattern. The third time that it crosses over, you want to kind of bend the spoke a little bit and pull it over top of that spoke so it gets a little cross going on. And make sure you're very careful about not scratching your nice flamed rims up and stuff or your painted hubs. And then you're just going to do that all the way around the wheel. So once you've got one side all laced up, this is what you should be looking at. So now all you do is just flip over to the other side and do the same thing. Okay, so after you have one side done, you want to flip it over, start the other side. Now the way you start the other side is find your valve stem, which is here, your valve stem hole. Follow the spoke down that's right next to it, which is going to be this spoke right here. And you're going to find the hole that's slightly offset. You see how this spoke hole here is slightly offset to the right from the other one? That's so that you can put the next spoke just to the right of that one, but still keep the proper tension going. Once you've figured that part out, go ahead and start putting a spoke in every other hole all the way around the rim. And when you're lacing, going around with a second set of spokes around the rim, I would like to note also the way you want to cross the pattern. Let's take a look at this spoke right here. I'm doing a 3-cross pattern, so you see it's going to cross with this spoke right here by the hub. So that's 1 cross. This spoke right here, that's another cross. And then right here is my 3rd cross. But what you want to do is see both of these 2 crosses go over the other spokes. You want to tuck this one underneath and go under that spoke. And the way you've got to do that is sort of bend the spoke slightly, get it where it's at, and then straighten the spoke back out and put your nipple on. I'll show you a little trick on how to do that in just a moment. Another little trick I'd like to show you is, you see how these rims are deep V rims? And you see how to get down to the spoke hole, it's kind of like a gap there? Well, to avoid dropping the spoke or the nipple down inside the rim and have it rattling around all in there, what I like to do is take, just an extra spoke that you have, thread the nipple onto it a little bit from the backside, and then stick the nipple right in through there. That makes it easy for you to, get it through there without having to drop it down in there and be trying to rattle it all back out of the rim and all that. So there's a little trick for you. Alright, so as you can see, what I've got here is all the spokes going one direction on this side of the wheel. I'm going to go ahead and start adding spokes on the other side. Now, it doesn't really matter where you choose to do it. Just make sure you've got everything going in the right direction. Just kind of slide that through there like that. And here's where I was talking about the trick I was going to show you, where you bend the spoke a little bit. I like to take my fingertip and put it over top of the spoke because those threads are sharp. And as you can see, I've got a nice cool little flame pattern on my wheels. I don't want to scratch those up. But you see how I had to bend the spoke ever so slightly? You don't want to leave that bend in it, but you're going to need it to help you as you maneuver it through the wheel. So I've got my first cross down there. Once again, be careful not to scratch your wheel up. We've got cross 1 here, cross 2 here, and once again you want it to overlap on a third cross. So you want to pull it up and over so it's going to cross over that spoke there. Now you see the spoke is bent. Just give it a little tweak, straighten it, make sure you straighten it out the best you can, and then get it in your spoke hole. And use that little trick I showed you to get your nipple in, and there you go. Make your way all the way around the wheel doing the same thing, and you've got yourself a wheel built. All you've got to do at that point is kind of take a flat bladed screwdriver and just go around the wheel. I like to start where the valve stem is, make my way around, give it a certain number of turns, I don't know, like 6 turns or something, all the way around the wheel, and then see where your spoke, see how your spoke tension feels. See if it feels just about right. You can see right now there's way too much play in it. But once you've trued a few wheels, you'll start to get the feel of, you know, how tight is too tight for the spokes and stuff like that. So all you want to do is just kind of make sure you go all the way around the wheel, get even tension on all the spokes, and then take it up to a truing stand, have them trued out. And you've got yourself a wheel at that point.